just like, you know, it ain't my time. And, you know,
You look back on your life, how many times do you see where God was protecting you when you were still being an idiot? Just like everybody else is. I'm not picking you out of anything.
Right.
But I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
everybody goes through those.
I used to get in my vehicle every day, and as fast as my car goes, as fast as I will go. And I don't care if it was a gravel road, what kind of road it was. I went down gravel roads doing 120, and I mean, that was my self-destruction there. I went through probably 30 vehicles in a year and a half because I wanted to hop in a vehicle and just do crazy stuff. But that's when I was getting high and I was doing all kinds of stupid stuff, and I didn't. It took me coming to West Virginia and losing everything and everybody and my people looking at me and telling me I was dead to them. And knowing that I could walk out in the mountains and just get snake bit or fall off a cliff, and the only people that would be worried about me or looking for me would be the police. And, you know, my people would have been like, oh, they just ran off again or he absconded, or, you know what I mean? But I had nothing. I struggled. I went without nothing. I humbled myself. I sat down and broke down everything I did in my life and tried to figure out why was I this way? Why was I angry? Why was I the way I was? And, you know, it's when I sat down and, you know, I told God, I prayed to God, I cried out in the mountains. I was like, if this is all you got for me in life, I don't want to be here. And, you know, I want more in life. I want to do something with my life. And I got college, I got a job, and, you know, I just started changing in my aspect of everything. And I started rebuilding them relationships I had tarnished with my family. I'm still working on them, and I'm still trying to mend the relationships I broke. I realized there's a lot of more people that care about me than I thought, and, you know, a lot of reason it's not that they cut me out, or they didn't care, they just, you know, they quit enabling me. And now there's some other family that, like, I don't know how to explain it. They don't. But, you know, I realize how lucky I am. I'm 37 years old. I'm in great health. I'm able to outwork most people. I'm motivated. I'm smart. I didn't realize I was smart till, you know, got my GED in 7 months. I went from like 5th grade level and lower, and 12.9 across the board on the TAPE test, and took my GED test the first time and passed it. I didn't realize I could learn anything. But all that's due to God, and that's because, you know, I prayed to God, and I struggle with my faith even still today. I sat there and questioned, why did this happen to me? Why have I lost everything again? Why? And especially when I was doing everything the right way. And I had to question that, because I guess maybe that's for all the times that I gave my old POs a hard time, the ones that wanted to help me, and then I finally got POs that they weren't
in your corner, were they?
No, they weren't in my corner. That's a nice way of saying it. But they didn't want to see me do good. They couldn't stand the fact that I got a job making $21 an hour in state, 23 out of state, in college, in less than 24 hours of coming to Charleston, going to a homeless shelter with my track record. You know, that's nothing but God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there's I don't know, it's just so much, and there's so many things, and I tried to give up, and I couldn't give up. God wouldn't let me give up, and here I am. I realized all the good I can do in the world. My words used to be the worst thing. My weapon was my words. I could take and use my words and tear down just about anyone. But I learned, since I've been down here, that my words, just as much as they can be a weapon, they can be used to help people, to heal people,
Right.
to build people up. And words can change people's lives.
Right.
My actions, you know, I love helping people. I love doing good things for people. I love seeing people do good for themselves. Just like you, I look up to a lot of people. I've never had, we'll say, positive role models, especially male role models. You know, I grew up, my mom, she was with another woman, and before that she was married to a man for 10 years, and he drank, and he had mental health issues. He was an emotional roller coaster. I forgave him for everything. Actually, that's the one I was staying with before I came up to Charleston to go to college, the one that died. But, you know, I never had no positive in my life. I mean, I had uncles that wanted to help. I had a cousin that wanted to help, but by the time they wanted to help, it was too late. You know, I was already, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
I was gone. I was gone. But it's a process. It's a long process. It's a battle. It's a struggle every day. I'm glad that I finally, I've been, like I said, going on 21 months this month, clean off of everything, and my mind is in a completely different place than what it used to be. My motivations have changed. My heart has changed. Everything's changed. You know, I love my family to death. I miss them. I've made some very poor decisions. One of them, people could say moving to West Virginia was a big mistake for me, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, because if I wouldn't have moved to West Virginia, I wouldn't be in this mindset right now. I wouldn't have had this change of heart. I would have probably ended up overdosing or in prison the rest of my life for doing something stupid, you know?
Right. God's got a purpose for you.
Right. And
He's kept you along and through all the stuff that you've been through, not to just leave you hanging. He's got a purpose for you. Your life's gonna get better. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what your future is, but I know that your life is gonna get better. And I've seen a lot of dedication in you, or determination to improve yourself. And that has to happen. But going from the lifestyle that you came from to being on the road where you are right now is a learning experience, and you're learning as you go, but you're going to continue to learn. I continue to learn. I learn all the time. I want to learn all the time. When I think I know something is when I'm just a fool, because I'll know nothing. You see, we have to continually be wanting God to show us and teach us, and we got to have that relationship with Him. And we have to recognize that He's not our enemy. He's there for us. He wants better for us. We have to want better for ourselves. Just like what you're saying. You want better for yourself. I'm proud of you, man. You've come a long ways. I really am proud of you.
thank you.
Proud of you. You got a good testimony. And it's going to help people. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just...
Nah, you're okay. I don't know what else to say, so
I just felt like you needed to hear that. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
It's determination, man. We got to keep going.
Persistence, that will, the
Yeah.
stubbornness. I guess another problem in my life, my energy. I've always been a high energetic person that I was
You got to be doing something.
gotta be doing something. I can't hold still on, and that energy was channeled in the wrong directions. Like if I would have realized my energy and how I could have channeled it when I was younger, when I was a kid, all the things I could have done with that energy, all the things I still can do with that energy, and I'm 37 years old. But I used it in the wrong ways and fell down a lot. But I'm back up, and it took me a long time to realize that, you know, it's all it'll all work out one way or another. I'm gonna make it, regardless of how many times I fall. I'm gonna keep getting back up. I ain't gonna let there's gonna be a lot of people in life, like you said, when you're doing good, that's when the devil comes at you the most. You told me that before. That's when all your trials come in, and you're gonna be tested. And I've failed them tests every time, except for, you know, I'm done failing them tests. I'm sticking with it. I ain't gonna give up. I ain't gonna sit there and give in to temptation. I ain't gonna get high no more. And it's just, I don't know. I learned how to channel that energy, and that energy is a gift. You know, it used to be a curse. I felt like it was a curse because it was channeled in the wrong direction. But the energy I have, the ability, the potential, the talent, the knowledge, you know, I could do anything. I still can do a lot. But if I knew then what I know now, I could have done anything I wanted in this lifetime. But I'm still gonna do great things, regardless of the barriers or the bonds that hold me down or anything like that. I'm going to make something of my life, and I'm gonna change not only my life but other people's as well.
That's the purpose of us, man, to reach back and pull other people out of the same pit we came from.
Absolutely. And there's something about, to me, generosity and helping people. You know, I see people struggle every day. If I got something and somebody, it don't matter who it is, I try to help anybody. I don't care who they are, where they're from, what their background is. Anybody that reaches out to me, if I can help them in any way, it's done, you know. And that's the way you gotta live. That's the way you're supposed to live. And
what's your next goals?
well, to get a job, I gotta get a ticket paid so I don't lose my license, and I want to get a car as soon as possible because I'm tired of walking.
Yeah.
I moved to West Virginia. I went from having cars all the time to my license being suspended and no vehicle and walking everywhere and struggling. So transportation right now is my biggest hurdle. But I'm gonna get a job, save my money, get a car, make sure all my tickets are paid, get my student loans caught up, and I'm wanting to do a heavy equipment operators class for Jobs and Hope.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to talk to anybody?
Yeah, I'm actually with Jobs and Hope. They said that they got a class this month, but I won't be able to attend it because I haven't been in. You got to be in it 90 days.
Right.
So yeah, I'm
So
gonna
in the
continue.
near future.
I'm gonna continue coming to our meetings. I'm gonna continue coming to church, and I'm gonna continue growing. You know, it's a learning curve. It might have taken me a long time to learn, but I learned.
Hey, I'm 57 years old, man. I've been here coming to church for just over 2 years. It took me almost 20 years longer than it took you. Don't feel bad. You know, it ain't how long it takes you to learn. It's just that you just make up your mind that there's got to be better, and God is the answer. If you was going to say anything, if there is something that you have learned through your life that you was going to tell somebody that's down and out and struggling with addiction or whatever, and their life is in turmoil right now, if they were watching this, what would you say to them?
As somebody that was struggling like I used to and down and out, you can't do it alone. That's absolutely, you cannot get sober. You can't make it in this world alone. You gotta have people. You gotta have something to believe in. Now, not everybody's a religious person, but you gotta have something to believe in, and you gotta have good people in your life. And you gotta find a place. Everybody will find a different place, but like, this is my place. This is where I found my sobriety. This is where you guys show me better things. You gotta find the right people. You can't do it alone.
You're right. It's true. You need a support group. You need to find a support group. Somebody that'll be in your corner and keep you from, or at least hold you accountable.
Right.
To deter you from doing those bad things again.
And to anybody out there struggling, and you are not going to get clean until you've absolutely had enough. You suffer from this stuff. You suffer from addiction, and until you have suffered enough, until you have realized that you are tired of suffering and you want change, it's not going to change for you. You can go to all the meetings in the world, but if you ain't suffered enough, you're going to end up relapsing. And I know that sounds rough, but it's all about, that's all you're doing, is making yourself suffer, getting high. And until you suffer enough, you will continue that until you finally get tired of it. And I got tired of it.
I found my answers right here. The Bible has been the answer for me. I try to share it with everybody that wants to hear anything about it, because Jesus will change your life in ways that you can't imagine. And he'll open doors for you that you never dreamed of. But he can also close doors that will keep you from self-destructing. So not every door that's closed is a bad thing, and not every door that's opened is a good thing. So anyways, yeah. But I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad you're coming to church. I'm glad you're coming to class. And don't give up. Keep fighting.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Hey guys, you've been watching Stoking the Fire Ministries. We are a faith-based ministry out of Chesapeake, West Virginia, to reach the lost and broken souls. If you like this content, remember to like and subscribe, share this with as many people as you can. We're trying to get our name out there to support these people who don't have anyone else to lean on. Tune in next week for another powerful episode. Our socials will be in the description: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We post weekly content. If you have a prayer request, please leave it in the comment section below, and we will keep you in our prayers. Remember, Jesus loves you and I love you. Believe that.